Hello again, everyone. It's time for Tiger Talk. We're going to talk some basketball with women's coach Tony Hopsin and men's coach Mark Johnson right after this. Hello again, everyone, and welcome into the latest edition of Tiger Talk. Gerard Wellbrock with you for the next 30 or so minutes as we talk Fort Hays State basketball with women's coach Tony Hopsin and men's coach Mark Johnson. The program brought to you again today by Mocha's Coffee Bakery and Bistro, 27th and Indian Trail in Hays, and Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers. Good weekend for the women. Couple of wins up in St. Cloud, Minnesota. The men get a victory over Central Christian College on Wednesday, and then a tough, heartbreaking last-second loss to Colorado School of Mines on Saturday. We'll talk all about it when we return right after this.
Around here, we believe in local values like hard work, family time, or a fair price on reliable internet from a local company. That's why Eagle Communications delivers great local values, like a range of internet options to fit your family's needs. Fast and consistent enough to power everyone's devices at once. All at reasonable prices we're proud to offer our friends and neighbors. Ready for better internet? Give us a call or visit eaglecom.net and discover our local values today.
And welcome back to Tiger Talk. Gerard Wellbrock with you and joined by head women's coach Tony Hopsin. The program brought to you by Mocha's Coffee Bakery and Bistro, and of course Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers, where they're celebrating the return of their fall classic, the Freddy's Pumpkin Pie Concrete, appropriate with Thanksgiving just around the corner. Fresh and creamy frozen custard blended with whole slices of rich pumpkin pie, crust and all, and it's topped with whipped cream and sprinkled with cinnamon. It's only at Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers, North Vine and Hayes. The taste that brings you back. Fort Hays State women's basketball on the road again, a little bit further than the last time. They went up to St. Cloud, Minnesota for games with St. Cloud State and Bemidji State in the Northern Sun Conference, and came away with two nice victories. Friday night, 88-73 over St. Cloud on their home floor, and then Saturday, 91-58 over the Beavers of Bemidji State. And nice road swing for your squad. Long trip up there, and boy, a bit of a, I wouldn't say sluggish, but a close game after one quarter against St. Cloud. In the second and third quarters, your team really got on a roll and built yourself a nice lead. They made a little run on you in the fourth, but great win, a great way to start the road trip.
Well, it was, and it's good to get your team on the road and see if they can play. I don't know if we need to go that far, but so I was pleased overall with just how we traveled, and I thought we played a pretty good team on Friday. And we did get off to a slow start. I mean, we were down 7, we were down 9 a couple times. We just, I don't know, we just were a little slow. We didn't execute very well. We messed up an inbounds play. We didn't, you could just tell we weren't quite into it. And then we kind of fought back and closed out the quarter pretty well. And then the second quarter, we played great. Third quarter, we had probably our best quarter of basketball of the year, I would say. Defensively, finally playing like we can play. And then we let up a little bit in the fourth quarter. The intensity level dropped, and they're a good team. They can really shoot the ball, and they hit 3 or 4 threes in a row and got excited. And but I don't like that to happen, but I liked our reaction. Yeah. Our reaction was good. We settled in and hit a couple shots when we needed to and made our free throws and closed them out in pretty good fashion.
Yeah, they went on a 23-4 run, got it to within 6 with 2 to play, but then you respond and get the nice double-figure victory. Emma Stroyan played well, 20 points. Jill Faxon with 18 points. Good to see them. Certainly 2 people you would expect to help lead this team and really stepped up and had big games.
Well, they did, and Emma shoots a really high percentage. I mean, I think she's made now 17 in a row.
19, actually.
19 in a row. And that is just because she doesn't take bad shots. I mean, she shoots when she's open. She's pretty handy around the basket, and she had a real good game against St. Cloud. And I thought that's where we had a decided advantage against them. I thought their guards were were very good. Their best 2 players are their point guard and their 1, 2, and 3 people are good. But inside, I thought we could take advantage of that, and Emma was the difference. And then with Tatiana coming in too, those 2 pretty well dominated the inside. And, Jill had a good game. They actually tried to go zone the 3rd quarter when we started pulling away from them, and it took 4 trips to get them out of it. And 3 baskets by Jill, and got good shots. We looked like we knew what we were doing. We were prepared for it, and so we didn't see any more zone really the rest of the trip.
And shot the ball well in that game, and even in a Saturday's game, that's an encouraging sign. Shot the ball extremely well.
Well, it is, and it's not coming from just 1 or 2 people. It seemed like in the past we might have had, say, if Chelsea was hot, then we were shooting well from the outside, but then it didn't come from anywhere else. So, this year we seem to have 4 or 5 kids that can hit the 3 and not afraid to shoot it. And so that was encouraging. Both games is just shooting the ball like we are.
Tigers get the 2 wins. We'll take a break, talk about the Bemidji State victory on Saturday, and look ahead to this week. Fort Hays State finally gets to play at home on Friday and Saturday, a pair of games, and we'll talk all about that when we return. Tiger Talk brought to you by Mocha's Coffee, Bakery, and Bistro and Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers, and we're back right after this.
That was another legend on 99 KZ Country. And yes, before that, we had a brand new artist. Your home for today's stars and the legends. We play real country. I'm Teresa Trapp. Weather, news, sports, it's all here. We're on Facebook, and there is a listen live link at hayspost.com. Dial us in on your radio at 99.5 FM. KHAZ, real country. 99 KZ Country.
And welcome back to Tiger Talk. Gerard Wellbrock, head coach Tony Hopsin with you. Fort Hays State women picking up a pair of wins in St. Cloud, Minnesota over the weekend. Tiger Talk brought to you by Mocha's Coffee, Bakery, and Bistro and Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers. You can enjoy their delicious cook-to-order food, rich and creamy frozen custard, churned fresh throughout the day. It's Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers, the taste that brings you back. Bemidji State Saturday, and another good 3-point shooting game. Hit 10 for the day, 40% from 3, kind of going along with what we talked last segment. You got some guys and gals who can really shoot the ball well, but you did a lot of other things good. Rebounded the ball well, got some points off turnovers, just all in all, good solid effort.
Well, it was, and I was a little concerned, about the quick turnaround and playing. We got done about 8 o'clock and got back and around 10 o'clock, 10:30 before we got our stuff done for the next day, and then you play a 2 o'clock game, it's a pretty quick turnaround, but we are pretty comfortable with 10 kids right now playing in the game, so we got a lot of depth, and I think that helped us a lot to be ready, and I thought we played first 3 quarters, played real well. We're ready to play, and defensively, I think we're getting closer to where we need to be. Some of the new kids are figuring it out. I was happy. Again, we are shooting the ball well, and we got to the basket pretty good on them. I didn't think their guard play was quite as strong as St. Cloud's, but inside they had a lot more size. And that's one reason why Emma didn't, she took 1 shot. They were double teaming her and paying a lot of attention, after they saw us play the night before. They were going to try to take that away, and that opened up things for everybody else going to the basket and getting open shots.
We have to 19 offensive rebounds. You scored 25 points off of that, and you had 21 points off of turnovers in the game. That's, the points off turnovers, obviously we got accustomed to it last year, but if you can get those second chance opportunities, that's always big.
Well, it is, and a lot of those were Jill. Jill's playing at a high level right now, a lot of energy. Don't know where she gets it, she's just, it's like that every day in practice. She just plays with a lot of enthusiasm, energy, and a lot of those offensive rebounds were her, but not all of them. And most of those turnovers were in the half court. We didn't get very many, we decided not to really trap very much in the full court. We were just kind of going straight man, and most of those turnovers were in the half court. So we're getting out in the lanes pretty good and taking teams out of what they want to do.
You mentioned the defense, and anytime you have new players, you got 7 freshmen, and Emma, even though she's been in the college game, it's new to Fort Hays State. That always seems to be the part that takes the longest, especially for the young players. I mean, they play defense in high school, obviously, but not to the level you expect, and it seems like that just takes a little while for them to get acclimated to it and figure out what you're wanting to do.
Well, it is, and especially the high school kids, they're used to like doing things to the other team, but they're not used to having people perform at that level against them, because we have everybody on our team from high school is a star, and so they're not accustomed to guarding themselves, is what I'm saying, I guess. Offensively, they're ahead of their defense, and a big part of what we do, you have to communicate, and we do 3 or 4 things on screens, how to get over them, but you have to communicate what you're doing, or there's a mix-up. And right now we're struggling with that quite a bit, but it's getting better, and it should continue to get better as we go. But it's not going to be long before it has to be where it needs to be. But hopefully we'll continue to improve in that area. But defensively, we're coming along.
One other play I want to bring up, Nikki Kakperska hit a big 3 when St. Cloud made that run on Saturday to kind of get you back over the hump, and had a very solid game, 14 points and 7 rebounds on Saturday. A really good effort by her.
Well, Nikki had, Nikki hits big shots, it seems like. I mean, she was, up until that point, I think she was 1 for 7 and hit a big 3. She also had 8 rebounds on Friday night. So she led us in rebounds Friday. Her and Jill had 8. And then she had another 7. So she's coming back into the boards really well. And like she says, if I get rebound, I don't have to get the outlet. So that's why our fast break was working pretty good,
Right.
because a lot of those rebounds were Jill and Nikki on the defensive end, and they just turn and go, and that saves a lot of time. So Nikki had probably her best game of the year on Saturday from start to finish. She didn't really. She didn't have any turnovers, I don't think. Rebounded the ball well, took good shots, and she had 2 or 3 steals that were, should have never happened. I mean, nobody else could do it. Is what I'm saying. So she's playing well and kind of settling into her role as a leader for us that she's never really had to do. Not that she wasn't capable, but we always had Beth there, and we had Paige, and she was kind of in the background and just coming off the bench, but she's taken that role very well right now.
Well, the Tigers get to play at home for the first time. That'll be nice on Friday, kind of a rare Friday and Saturday after Thanksgiving, but it'll be good to get back in the swing of things at home. I'm sure your team's anxious for that.
Well, it'll just be nice not to get on the bus. I mean, we've had, after our exhibition games, we go to Lawrence, we go to Creighton, we go to St. Joe. We've been on the road 4 times now, and 2 of those were 4-dayers. So I think the kids are anxious to see, especially the new ones, what our home crowd's like. And it is a little rare where we play a Friday and Saturday. But our non-conference schedule got pretty wrecked last year in December when our conference decided to go, to cut back to 19 games again for whatever reason. Before we'd even played the other schedule, which is confusing to me. But
yeah, a lot of people.
So anyway, there was 3 games that we had to try to schedule very late, and it was difficult. So we thought we would try to play a game on Friday instead of this Tuesday, which would be tomorrow, because I kind of had a feeling we'd be a little tired after getting home at 5 a.m. on Sunday morning. It takes a little while to recover from that, so that's why we're playing that. But we're excited to be at home, and just looking forward to trying to keep getting better. We have to get better than we are right now, but I like where we're at, and so far so good.
Sounds good. Well, we can't wait to be at home on Friday as well. We'll see you then. Thanks for the time.
Okay, thanks, Gerard.
That's head coach Tony Hopsin of the Tiger women again. Bethel College on Friday and Sterling College, part of the men's and women's doubleheader, on Saturday. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, Mark Johnson of the men's team will join us right after this.
Ready to discover something new? The next time you're in your car, tune your radio to 94.3 FM.
It's here.
It's Hayes' greatest hits.
Love it.
On 1400 KAYS and 94.3 FM.
94.3 FM, KAYS. Go ahead, check us out.
And welcome back to Tiger Talk. Gerard Wellbrock, joined now by head men's basketball coach Mark Johnson. The program brought to you by Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers and Mocha's Coffee Bakery and Bistro, 27th and Indian Trail in Hayes. Hey, start your day off right. Get a nice cup of coffee or some of the great breakfast items, or go through the drive-thru on your way to work. It's at Mocha's Coffee Bakery and Bistro, 27th and Indian Trail in Hayes. Tough Saturday for Fort Hays State men's basketball as they played their first couple of home games, got a nice non-conference win over Central Christian College on Wednesday, and then a tough last-second loss to Colorado School of Mines on Saturday. Let's go back to Wednesday first. A very athletic, very talented, very veteran Central Christian squad. I know they're one of those teams that concerns you every year because they've got a lot of athleticism, and this being a veteran squad, but I thought your team really responded well, played pretty well, got a nice win in their home opener.
You know, we did. I thought we played hard. I thought we guarded fairly well, and got some good looks again. Rob had a good night. Hadley had another good night, and we need those guys to have good nights virtually every time we play. But yeah, we did a lot of good things. I thought we walked away home opener. Maybe the first 5 minutes a little nerves got to us a little bit, but all in all, for your first game at home with a lot of young guys, I thought it was a success for sure.
Jaquan Smith and Brady Worth to some extent didn't shoot it particularly well, especially Jaquan, 1 for 10. But I think what you had to like, they still hit the boards hard and did some of those other things that you're going to have, even though the offense maybe wasn't there for them.
Yeah, I think they both had double figures rebounds, and we needed them. Especially Brady coming off that opening weekend, probably didn't rebound to the level that we need him to, and he did a much better job, and knew like Jaquan would finish better, and he did that Saturday against Mines, against even bigger competition. Just one of those games, I think maybe some nerves early. He missed most of them early and all that, but again, yeah, there's other things you can do besides score to help your team win.
Tigers got that win, and then a pretty good early season test on Saturday. Colorado School of Mines picked the win. The Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference ranked 21st in the nation coming to town, and other than the outcome, a very good basketball game. Your team really battled. It was back and forth. They built, I think, a 10-point lead midway through the second half, but for the most part, everything in single figures. Just kind of unfortunate the way it ended with the last-second basket for them.
Well, yeah, the last second, like I said after the game, I mean, you can live when a guy makes a good play and makes a good basketball player that makes a great play and the ball goes in. It's kind of tough when they kind of bank it in from the corner and really had nothing going. It was just kind of a prayer shot, and it was answered. But we also did a lot of things to put ourselves in that situation. I think the positive is we did show some character there, down 10. I think we were down 7 with 4 minutes to go, and our guys battled and found a way to put themselves in that opportunity and give themselves a chance to win. The negatives were we just didn't guard very well. They shot 56%, I think 60% in the second half on our home floor. I mean, you just can't expect to win when you allow teams to do that. We're not the biggest, most athletic team, especially in the perimeter. Our big guys have to do a much better job. In today's world, it's ball screens, ball screens, ball screens. If your big guys can't handle ball screens, you're going to have a hard time slowing people down, and that's where we got to get a lot better. Our big guys got to do a much, much better job of handling ball screens and limiting penetration and pulling on the backside.
Natason was their leading scorer. He hits the game winner, and you had done a really good job of holding him in check until about the last 4 or so minutes. He had a swing where he scored 5 in a row, and he kind of took over for them down the stretch.
Yeah, he's a great player, and that's what we try to do for the game is take him and 30 out of the game. We stayed out on those guys, didn't help. Allowed 23 and their bigs kind of do some things, but we felt like that was make them beat us with their second or third and fourth options instead of their first and second. And for the most part, we did do a good job with that. We just, again, we got to handle ball screens better and limit their shooting percentages.
Game in which Rob Davis scored 20, which is really amazing because he had to work as hard as ever to get those. Probably a little bit of a precursor of what life in the MIAA is going to be like for him.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to put a lot of people on him and pay a lot of attention to him. I thought he looked a little fatigued. I don't know if that was our 4th game in 8 days with driving up to Sioux Falls and back, if that had a factor. But you're right, he's such a good player. You felt like he didn't do a whole lot, and he still ends up with 20 points and has a pretty solid field goal percentage. So he's a great player, and he's got to do a lot of great things as this season goes on for us to have a good year.
Connor Kinnaman had 2 assists, but no turnovers in the game, and it was a rough weekend up in South Dakota for him. The last 2 games maybe trending in a good direction, very high assist and very few turnovers.
Yeah, and we need that out of him. He's not going to be a guy that's necessarily going to be a big-time scorer and get double figures most nights. So we need him to play good defense, take care of the basketball like he's been doing now, and try to create some plays for others.
Well, the Tigers go back on the road Tuesday. They'll be in Wichita to take on the Jets and then get a little post-Thanksgiving action on Saturday back at home against Sterling College. We'll talk about the week ahead for the Tigers right after this break.
We're proud to have Secor Technology Solutions as a part of our Eagle Communications family. We are dedicated to providing homes and businesses with cost-effective IT services, support, and products all under one roof, like
network support, computer repair, virus and spyware removal,
data recovery and cloud backup,
email support,
screen repair.
And above all, you can count on technology done right. Call us at 785-628-1330.
Eagle Communications, our community connected.
Welcome back. Our final segment here on Tiger Talk, brought to you by Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers, 3505 North Vine in Hayes. The taste that brings you back, and of course their famous cook-to-order food with the rich and creamy frozen custard items made fresh throughout the day. It's Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers, a taste that brings you back. Tigers in Wichita, taking on the Newman Jets on Tuesday, and then back at home Saturday to take on Sterling College. To start with Newman, an interesting team, a lot of new faces. They've got some transfers in. A team, though, when you play them in Wichita, it's a different thing. It's almost like they're 15 points better on their home floor than if you get them on your home floor.
No, I agree. There's kind of two styles of play. You feel like on their home floor is much different than on the road. A pressing team is much more challenging on their home floor at times than on your home floor. And then a team that plays as fast as they do. They try to get out on makes and misses, get in transition the whole time, try to make it a high scoring game. And it's for whatever reason, those style of plays, it's easier to do on your home floor than on the road. And so that'll be a challenge for us. And then I don't know, the gym is the lighting's not great. It's just a hard place to play. We've had success there. We need to come out and again, not let that last second shot beat us twice. Come out, be ready to go, not have our daubers down, and make that shot make us more determined to come out with a win at Newman than the other way around.
And I guess it's a fine line because they like that tempo. They like to get up and down, almost a helter-skelter, frantic feel of a game. But yet you've at times have had success running the ball when you've had a chance to and get out on the fast break and score. But I guess I'd imagine the challenge for your guards is going to be that fine line of when to keep that tempo up and get it to more to your liking.
Yeah, that's the whole key against them. When we want to take opportunities, they're like everybody else. Going offense, they can run faster at times than going back on defense. So we need to take advantage of some opportunities and get some easy baskets out in transition when we can. We just can't fall in love with that and take bad shots or try to make too big of plays and turn it over. Be intelligent, when to attack and when to hold it up and get us in our offense.
And then you come back at home Saturday after Thanksgiving, Sterling College. You've played them a lot over the years, and usually they're pretty solid. They've got a pretty good program and give you a very tough test.
I would say over the years of all the NAI 8 teams that we play, Sterling has played us the best and really made it hard on us. And I don't know, one, they got a good coach, they got good players. Sometimes, after Thanksgiving break, when we always play them, if that's a factor. But yeah, we're going to need to play. I don't think there's anybody on our schedule that our team is able to just show up and be there and expect to win. And we have to do things correctly and do things with an intense fashion and a focused fashion if we want to beat anybody.
Well, we'll see what happens. Should be a lot of fun this week. Hopefully a big crowd in Wichita. There's always a good Fort Hays State contingency that shows up and makes it a fun atmosphere. And that'll be a nice test to kind of get this week started with classes out for the holiday break, and hopefully a good start and maybe a good tune-up as you get closer to MIAA play, which is just around the corner.
Yeah, it starts in another week, and we've had a tough schedule here to open up playing some pretty good teams, and on the road against Newman is just another piece of that, and we need to keep trying to show improvement and find a way to win games. We want to improve, but we also got to be trying to win some games while we're improving and get us ready for next week.
Sounds good. We'll see you tomorrow night in Wichita.
All right, thank you, Jerome.
That's head coach Mark Johnson again. Fort Hays State and Newman. It's a 7 o'clock tip from Fugate Gymnasium. 6:35 of the Auto World pregame on Tiger Radio Mix 103, and then 5 and 7 the men's and women's doubleheader Saturday as they take on Sterling College. Tiger Talk brought to you by Hayes Med Orthopedic Institute, the Taco Shop, G&L Tire and Automotive, Golden Belt Bank of Hayes and Ellis, also by Adams Brown, Barron and Ball, Couture for men and women, BTI, and Horizon Appliance Appliance and Electronics, and of course, Mocha's Coffee Bakery and Bistro, 27th and Indian Trail in Hayes, and Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers, 3505 Mine, the taste that brings you back. For women's coach Tony Hopsin, men's coach Mark Johnson, this is Gerard Wellbrock. So long, everyone.
We get it. You work hard and play hard. Internet should be the last thing slowing you down. Eagle Communications gives you the speed you need so you can play hard and save cash. For a limited time, get 30 meg for $30 or 50 meg for $50 so you could work, play, and save. Call us at 877-61-EAGLE today.